So we're getting ready for the annual New Year's Eve game here tonight at the Sadlon Arena between the Barrie Colts and the Oshawa Generals. Barrie, they've done pretty well in the New Year's Eve games of late. I believe it's the last 5 New Year's Eve games that have been victories for the Barrie Colts, but tonight's game will be an interesting one as the Barrie Colts come into tonight's action first in the Eastern Conference, but Oshawa right behind them. They're sitting second right now in the Eastern Conference standings, just 3 points separating these two clubs. Barrie right now, they do have a game in hand on the Oshawa Generals. This is a key game here for Oshawa to try and close that gap with the Barrie Colts. We knew coming into this season that these two teams would be two of the top contenders in the Ontario Hockey League this season, and they haven't disappointed yet. And of course, we do have the trade deadline just around the corner. I will be doing a live stream January 10th, so mark that on your calendars because I think this trade deadline, it's going to be fascinating. There's a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference that are looking to add. The Barrie Colts, Oshawa Generals included. You've got Brantford, Brampton. Kingston, I think, is going to be an interesting team to follow. And what do the Niagara Ice Dogs do? So all those questions will be answered between now and the OHL trade deadline. Can't wait for that. But another news story that's been going around the Ontario Hockey League leading up to New Year's Eve has been OHL expansion. I haven't done a video recently on the topic. I got the kids at home right now because the school winter break, so figured talk a bit about it here. We do now know that the OHL is open to allowing the Muskegon Lumberjacks and the Youngstown Phantoms to join the Ontario Hockey League, but what's holding them back is that USA Hockey has voted against the idea of expansion for the OHL, taking 2 teams from the USHL. I know it's in limbo right now. That's according to Elliot Freeman from Hockey Night in Canada, but with it being in this position, the OHL eager to allow those 2 teams to join the Ontario Hockey League, you have to figure there's some negotiations right now going on behind the scenes. And if the OHL wants those 2 teams as early as next season, something has to be done in the next couple of months, if not weeks, if those 2 teams will in fact play in the OHL for the 2025-26 season. But we've already known the OHL is looking to expand. We don't know how many teams exactly, but that's why mayors right now starting to speak up a little bit about bringing the OHL to their communities. And the most recent conversation is the mayor of Cornwall. He went on radio earlier this week actually saying that he feels the OHL is set to return to Cornwall sooner rather than later. They've done the updates at the current facility. They're in the process of changing the lighting. That's going to be their off-season project this year, but they have a new scoreboard, new seating. So Cornwall feels they're ready for the OHL to return. Remember, they had the Cornwall Royals. They were there and then relocated in the early 1990s, moving to Newmarket and then eventually Sarnia to become the Sting. So it seems as though Cornwall's trying to position themselves as a potential expansion market. So if Youngstown and Muskegon falls through, does the OHL look to other cities here in Ontario, including Cornwall? I've already touched on Burlington, already in the process building a new arena, but you have to figure that's going to take at least 5 years. And then the question about Belleville. Do the Belleville Senators stay in the city or do they relocate? I know there's plenty of rumors going around that Belleville relocate to Hamilton, which would then leave a vacancy there in the city of Belleville. Of course, used to have the Belleville Bulls. There's a lot of people who would love to see the Bulls back in the Ontario Hockey League. So it's going to be a fascinating situation just to see how expansion plays out. But we do know that Cornwall has stepped up. They say they're ready for an OHL team. They were even open in saying they had talks with the Hamilton Bulldogs and the Mississauga Ice Dogs to try and bring those 2 OHL franchises to their city. We also know back in 2000 that they tried to bring the Owen Sound Platers to Cornwall, but of course the community stepped up, keeping the Platers in Owen Sound and then renaming the Owen Sound Attack. So there's a lot of steps going on right now, and I think that's going to be a storyline that's going to continue going into 2025. So I just wanted to do a quick kind of news update here on the channel, and of course after tonight's game between Barrie and Oshawa, I will have a recap and just looking back as to how this game goes, because this is going to be a great game. Puck drop is at 7:30. Gene and I will have the call on Rogers TV, and can't wait for this one. It's always fun when we got the Barrie Colts and the Oshawa Generals going head-to-head. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on, do you think Cornwall's ready for the Ontario Hockey League? I know they hosted an exhibition game before the World Juniors with Slovakia, but still, Cornwall, that'd be a good fit, I feel, for the east part of the province. Of course, there's quite the gap. You only have Ottawa and Kingston really in Eastern Ontario, so Cornwall, I think, would be welcomed quite a bit by those two teams in the far east of the province. So let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Talk to you soon.